I'm Rob Crystal Arnillas. I'm 35 years old, and I'm married, and I have one puppy who's 7 years old.
What was life like before you started here at Hale?
Before I started at Hale, life was, let's see, a lot of, for work stuff, it was a lot of like me at the computer at work, especially with everything being so virtual. It was like a lot of desk time. Taking my dog out for a walk was one activity, and then I would I did a lot of like running and cycling too before coming here.
Yeah. What was your goal when you started?
When I started here, my goal was to, I was doing like gym workouts, CrossFit workouts like 5 years ago. So when I first started talking to Heidi and coming in here, I was like, I would love to get back to doing what I was doing 5 years ago at my old gym. Just like building some strength, getting better with mobility. Like I was starting to like tweak my, in the past year I've been starting to like tweak my back, like just doing more random things that I never used to happen.
Yeah. So you had done something like this before?
Yeah, for 5 years ago, I had like 5 years experience maybe or so doing CrossFit in a couple different places.
Why'd you stop?
I don't know. I moved out to California, and I ended up doing like lots of, like getting more into like different kinds of running and cycling.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like I just got really like into that realm of things.
So you just had different goals. Yeah.
But I didn't have any bad experience in the past. I always really liked it. But yeah, my goals maybe shifted a little bit.
Right, so what was it like when you first came in? Was it scary to come back to it?
Yeah, totally. Because I remember how, I was like, I spent all these years working up to a certain level of, all around fitness, which is what I feel like you kind of get from the types of workouts we do here. And I was like, I do one thing now. I just do running. I just have like one kind of fitness. And so the idea of doing these movements like thrusters or all of that, like I know how like those can be kind of scary and tough to build up to. And I was like, I'm not ready for that kind of thing,
Right. So it was almost worse because you knew what to expect.
A little bit. I was like, I know like some of the big workouts. I know how exhausted I felt at the end. And I was like, I'm not even close to that. I'm like, not even close to approaching those.
Yeah. At what point, in that sort of early journey back here with us,
Yeah.
did you feel like, okay, this is the right place for me?
I mean, I felt pretty early that it was the right place actually, because so much to me is just about like the community vibe of the place. Like, even though I was maybe still scared of like some of the movements and all of that and intimidated about the movements, it's like it felt like a very welcoming place right from the start. And that's why I was like, this is a place I want to get back to my old form maybe.
Yeah. When did you start seeing progress?
I was really sore after the first days, so I knew that as like the beginnings of progress. And then with it's only been maybe 4 months or something like that now, but really like a couple months in, I started like looking different, and I was working with like Mitch on mobility, Teen on nutrition, and Colin for one-on-one, and I feel like with that trifecta, like I was like seeing all types of changes like pretty quick. Yeah, like definitely. Well, one huge thing was like when I started talking to Colin, I was like, and Heidi too. I was like, I have these numbers from when I did CrossFit 5 years ago. I would love to get a glimpse of those numbers at some point in the future,
Yeah.
But and I've already PR'd. I've passed those numbers from years ago for my bench press and my back squat. Yeah, with Deanna, I was like bench pressing like 15, beat my bench press by like 15 pounds from 5 years ago. And that took like years for me to work up to. But I think there's a lot to be, I wasn't back then. I wasn't thinking about mobility. I was thinking about nutrition. Like there's some things that I've changed for sure. Just like working here. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't believe that. Well, definitely, like, just activities like put my bike into my car where I would tweak my back, doing that, like trying to lift my bike onto the rack or something. I just feel more like nimble and stronger, able to do these like household things, which feel really good. And then now I'll be like watching a show or whatever, and like be rolling out, or like on a lacrosse ball. Like mobility and like nutrition are just like now pretty habitual things that I really I enjoy paying attention to and thinking about. So it's like for sure creeping into all the other aspects of life in a really nice way.
If there's somebody out there who is like you 6 months ago, who was thinking about starting, what's your best advice for them?
I think like, well, here, knowing that here you'll find a community that supports you kind of from day one, and just like anywhere that you happen to be working out, make sure you're at a place that sort of just is gonna support you, because yeah, it's a lot about, yeah, you gotta be like self-motivated in some respects, but then a lot of that motivation for me comes from the community around too. And so I just feel like as long as you're feeling supported by the place you're at and like having fun, like things are gonna start clicking.